Welcome to the second episode of Killscreen with Tim and Ben. I'm Ben.
And I'm Tim.
We're here for our special holiday episode, I guess. This is episode 2. Christmas is coming up soon. That's exciting.
Very exciting. And also, Happy New Star Wars to you, Ben.
I mean, that was like a minor thing that came out last week, wasn't it? It's like
it officially has come out, though.
It was
it
like
is
a little
officially
thing.
Out.
It's not like I wet myself getting so excited to watch it.
The chills were real.
Though. Yeah, have you?
I've yet to see it. Yep.
Oh my gosh! So
I've yet to see it.
So, spoiler alert: there's dudes with X-wings, and there's dudes with lightsabers. Am I just ruining it for you already? You should just not even go see it.
Absolutely spoiled.
There's X-wings, TIE fighters, and
plot ruined.
You should just be done. Yep.
I heard actually that one of the major points in the trailer wasn't even in the actual movie, where the bad guy pulls out his lightsaber and he has the cross T and they had the nice close up of it. But I heard that they didn't even include that in the movie.
Yeah, that was kind of like the stylistic shot in the trailer. I feel like it's like, oh, here's this lightsaber. Oh, what are these two little lightsabers off it? It was like super awesome. It was the new JJ direction, but I mean. Yeah, it wasn't officially in it, but there were some points where you get to see it in its glory.
Okay.
But, I mean, it was overall, personally, I know we're probably going to dive into this really deep in a future episode when we get to discuss it, but I felt like I was a kid again, man. I was like welling up with tears almost, just gripping my seat and was completely enthralled the entire time. It was a fantastic film. JJ has done us a great service, and I am incredibly excited for episode 8 coming out here, in like a year or two, I think.
Really? That soon, huh?
Wait, oh, no. It's Rogue One comes out next year, which is a look back, and it's actually like a gritty war film. So that's a whole different thing.
Interesting, okay.
So that's next year. That's Rogue One, episode 8. Probably slated for 2 to 3 years, I'd say. But yeah, Rogue One's right on the plate, but that doesn't include any of the main characters. That's a whole different story.
Awesome. Well, I'm really looking forward to that nostalgic giddiness again.
Yeah, just, obviously message me as soon as you see it, because I'm ready for your reaction.
Absolutely.
Waiting with bated breath. So speaking of the holidays here, right around the corner, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Festivus for the rest of us, whatever you celebrate, the season of gift giving is in. And obviously for the nerd in your life, Maker and I have picked out a couple things and we think kind of top the list of things that we think are cool. Not necessarily the specific item, but for reasons we'll get into. We're going to provide some links for you in the annotations and stuff. Maker, why don't you take this first one here? I really like these. These are pretty styling prints. Tell us what you think about
them. Obviously, we're looking at the Mario prints here. I feel like this is a little bit more custom, something that you run into. I don't feel like you don't see these kind of things every day. Just something I ran across in Reddit. He was at a local Christmas market, and he only paid $60 for all of them. So I think this would be an amazing gift. I would love hanging these up anywhere in my office, anywhere in my house.
Yeah, I think that goes for any art piece specifically catered to a video game. Just like these kind of alternate universe art pieces or any custom pieces, not necessarily designed specifically to look exactly like it. It's cool to find these unique things, and there's so many fans of these games, just any in particular, that you'll find all these cool crossovers, and this one is fantastic. I like it. This kind of 1930s, 40s looking portraits, and they all look amazing. I really like them. Yeah,
definitely. And then for the second one, I ran across that one as well, on Reddit rather. It's just a pretty cool little Batman like mask hood that you can wear. I thought it was really cool, unique.
I'm saying the frequently bought together. Give me the Batman socks and the shirt there with it. You're set.
Oh yeah, 100% roleplay.
Your Sunday morning watching cartoons with your Batman cape, socks, Yeah, those
Oh
do
yeah.
have a cape.
If you got
on
a
them.
cold winter, especially, yeah, absolutely.
Nothing makes you feel like you're faster to fighting crime than caped socks.
True. I don't think I've ever seen a pair of cape socks. That's for damn sure.
But yeah, this is a cool beanie. Little beanies in this style. I mean, the big ones recently that I've seen a lot of are obviously the Jane hats are always huge. You could get those on Etsy anywhere. But the Viking hats with the beard have been a big one. So seeing some
Right,
of
that's
these
another big one too.
These guys, I think I've seen some Stormtrooper ones that kind of half pull down his helmets, but these are always cool character beanies. Pretty sweet. So the last one that we got there is something that I grabbed because I've actually been able to put one of these on and play with them.
Really?
Yeah, the Technomancer hoodie.
Okay.
Anything from ThinkGeek is pretty sweet. There's a couple sites out there. ThinkGeek, a subscription to Loot Crate's always a cool thing, but this one in particular from ThinkGeek, it's a bit pricey at $150. It's on sale for $120 for the holidays. But it comes with this manual of these like different arm movements and stuff that you can do, and there's sensor strips that run up the arms of this thing that basically detect your wrist positioning, and then based on the movements that you do, it makes different sound effects and lights up in different ways.
Yeah, that is super cool.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's one of those things that's like, it's cool to break out at like D&D or something,
right?
Or just when you're hanging out with some other nerd friends, but you like pull back the sleeves and it's these strips of wire and LED and stuff like that, and it gets a little uncomfortable if you're sitting around in it for too long. You can definitely feel the extra chunks in there, but I mean, it's cool to whip out every once in a while. And if you're like a power nerd and you want to bring a little extra D&D, you'd be like, I cast fireball at the darkness, and then you wave your arms and it goes psh.
So now each hoodie has all 3 different colors then, or all 4 different colors here, or is there a specific color that you get?
There's a series of LEDs in there. So you when you cast different spells, it lights up in different ways.
Okay, yeah, I can even see them on the sleeve here.
Yeah. So when you're casting like a fire spell, it lights up all red. When you're doing like shockwave, it's like green and blue. And then there's like a healing one that makes all sorts of awesome healing noise and lights up purple. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, get your real life force lightning on, man. That would be sweet.
I mean, I did have problems running into, because I'm a bigger dude. I mean, I'm 6'3", so this thing was smaller on me because it was somebody else's, but I was able to squeeze into it. But it just, it's a little more restrictive, and then sometimes you had to do the motions a couple times to get it to work right. And there's a reset position that you move your arms into, and you'll hear it like make a ding noise or something. It resets the motion. A couple times you're sitting there like waving your arms, looking like an idiot, not like not like when it casts, you look like you're super cool anyways. But every once in a while, I'd have to like reset it a couple times to get it to work, so it looked silly. But it's a fun toy.
Still really cool. Yeah, absolutely.
It's neat. I'm a big fan of it.
Definitely not something you see every day either.
No. I mean, I'd be a little worried if I saw one of these walking down the street anymore. Someone's coming cruising out with this, I'd be concerned.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, a quick little jaunt there about the holidays and things you can pick up. ThinkGeeks, like we said, it's always a good place to check out, but we'll put these links in the comments for you guys so you can take a look at it. But we'll just jump right back into our awesome topic of episode 7 and the not so awesomeness that came with it. I think, Maker, you had some bad times. Do you want to tell us about it?
Well, I knew I wasn't going to be able to see Star Wars immediately, so the first thing I did when it came out on the pre-release, I think it was on the 15th or the 16th, so before it even officially opened to the public, I wanted to spoil it for myself because I know how the internet is, and I wouldn't even be able to get online without receiving the spoilers. And sure enough, I had what would have been spoiled for me at least 2 to 3 times while I was doing my online gaming and perusing, so I'm really glad I had it spoiled by myself instead of others ruining or attempting to ruin my day because of it.
Oh, I'm glad you got it spoiled yourself instead of somebody else doing it. That's just ridiculous. I mean, there's an article, I don't know if it was actually run down to be true or not, but the dude that shouted spoilers in the line apparently got jumped by a bunch of other people in costume.
Wow.
It was from reading the article. Like I said, I don't know if it's 100% true, but reading the article, the person said it was, at first everybody was like, yeah, they teach him a lesson, and a couple guys like jumped out of line and pushed him and punched him, but then they just got cheered on by that mob mentality and like beat the crap out of this dude for like 15 minutes. So I mean, it's dangerous these days with how passionate people get about stuff like this. But it's just rude.
It really is.
What type of dick do you have to be? I mean, that guy doing that at the theater, yeah, you're anonymous walking out with your hat on because he was supposedly wearing like a pilot suit for the Rebel pilots, so he had the blast shield on his helmet. And, like, he thought he was just going to be anonymous and cool, shout the spoiler, and walk off, and a bunch of dudes jumped him. I mean, it's not the internet. You're not safe.
Oh, he was walking out and he yelled it?
Yeah,
no kidding!
The line was right there, getting ready to go in, and he shouts out the ending.
Wow, that is... Wow.
You got to be a special kind of person to do that. I mean, I got a buddy, Steven, who works for the Able Gamers charity. He's a buddy of mine on Facebook, and he was talking that he went and saw it like first day he got in, but he had seen it spoiled the next day on Facebook. And it was this friend of his, it was on his Facebook timeline, he had posted these spoilers in like all caps and linked a video. And he messaged the dude, and he's like, "What are you doing this for?" And the guy's like, "I just wanted to be a bit of a dick."
A bit of a dick.
Kidding me? It's literally one of the most anticipated films of probably the last 2 to 3 years, at least, I would say. I mean, the blockbuster numbers show it. I mean, it did
absolutely, yeah,
like 100-something million opening weekend domestically. Opening day was like 60 million or something ridiculous. But I mean, it was highly anticipated, and you got to fucking walk out there and just ruin the story for people. I don't fucking get it. What is the enjoyment, the satisfaction you get of ruining something for somebody else? I mean, you're not going to feel great about it later. Are you? I mean, you're going to look back on it and...
Maybe they do. Maybe they do.
Sociopaths.
I totally ruined it for these nerds going into the movie theater.
I showed those guys. I got there for the first screening, and then I went back out, and I just ruined these nerds' day.
Yeah, he did too, man. Absolutely.
Oh, and he got his fucking day ruined. The guy was hospitalized.
Oh, really? It was that bad, huh?
Yeah, they beat this dude for like
kidding.
15 minutes. And it was hilarious because somebody said I think it was a Wookiee, a Boba Fett, and a Stormtrooper jumped out of the line and beat the shit out of this guy. Just fucking like curb stomped this kid. Yep. And someone said they like knocked him down and were just like kicking him in the gut and beating the crap out of him. But they, I think they said they got to, this is what threw me off on the article, is they said they got to go back in and finish the movie, and someone said officers called it a justified assault. And I'm just like,
really?
No. I'm like, I could understand someone getting jumped and people going to jail for it, but you're not going to jump a kid and then fucking get to go watch the movie and not get arrested for it.
I'm curious how that officially panned out then.
Yeah, I'd have to, sorry, I was taking a drink there. I'd have to take a look and see if I can find the article online. I just missed it because I didn't really think it was legitimate. The only source was the person watching the assault take place. So, not sure if it was actually a thing or not.
Wouldn't surprise me either way.
Either way, douchey thing to do. I mean, Harrison Ford said it straight. Don't ruin the movie for others. Quit being a jerk. He had his little "Don't be a douchebag" video, which was very well put, straight to the point. But so yeah, we're not gonna spoil it for anybody here. I mean, there were, like I said earlier, X-wings and lightsabers and all the things you'd expect of a Star Wars film, and I really hope you enjoy it. I will put here, though, we're going to take a break from the podcast this week. After we put this episode out, we're going to try to take a break over Christmas. And when we come back, part of our New Year's episode will be the discussion of Star Wars, so make sure you get out and you see the film before then. I know Maker's going to try to get to see it, hopefully sometime this week or next weekend.
Oh, I'll definitely see it. Definitely here soon.
And then we're definitely gonna have a bit of nerd discussion because I've got my notes ready. I've got my theories, I've got my ideas, and I'm just ready to talk about it.
Yeah, but I'm excited to dive in as well.
Well, I mean, in the interim, while you're out there in the gaming multiverse, wasting your time playing some video games, Maker and I have got a couple titles for you to check out in our Time to Burn segment. If you got a little extra time on your hands, we got a couple free titles. We're not necessarily talking about paid for games yet. These are just some quick, fun, free titles that we think you should check out. So the first one we're going to talk about, we'll leave links for these too, is one called Relic Hunter Zero. Now that's out on Steam right now. You can pick it up for free. Released back in August, and this is a roguelike free-to-play game that is kind of a little anime in its art style. But it's like a bullet hell, just got tons of enemies on each floor. You pick up different combinations of items. There's like some persistence between the games, but you can unlock different heroes. You can progress through the floors and just slam a bunch of bad guys. I think their space ducks are the enemies, honestly. So that's always interesting, to blow up a bunch of space ducks. But each character has their own specific skill set. I think the first two that you get, one is a gunner, and the other one is a melee person. But I had a lot of fun with it. I played it for I think a couple hours there, and just had a good time. It was definitely a nice free to play smash of dudes, and I think it's multiplayer. Actually, I think it has multiplayer capabilities.
That's actually what I was going to ask about, because I only saw the trailer video for it, and it looked like single player, but I think that could be a lot of fun as multiplayer.
Oh, yep, I see it right here. It's actually got local co-op, so hopefully...
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, since it's free to play, sometimes these things go a little bit longer, but this one does have local co-op, and it's got some good tactic stuff. Like, the different enemies are diverse enough that it doesn't feel like you're just mashing your head against the same thing over and over. But it's good. It's worth a look at. Like we said, Time to Burn. This is one of those ones you can go take a look at. But yeah, Relic Hunter Zero. We'll leave the link for that for you, and take a look at that. And Maker can tell you a little bit about this other one we've been checking out this week.
This other game that we've actually been playing is called Devilian. Obviously, we'll link down below, but it's what a lot of people are claiming it to be is a mix of Diablo 3 and World of Warcraft. It's an MMO action RPG. So it's got your standard quest to level up, and then you've also got the top view, I guess, of your character, and it's a hack and slash. You gain gear as you level up. You choose your skills. You have one of 3 different. They call them styles, but they're like talent trees, the paths that you specialize in. Like I said, it's free to play. Definitely worth checking out. It's us being the Diablo 3 players that we play usually a little bit at the beginning of every season. It was definitely something that we latched onto right away, especially because it's got PvP, which we weren't able to sink our teeth too much into it, but the little PvP that we did play was a lot of fun, and it's definitely, as opposed to the more single-player oriented Steam game that we were talking about earlier, this one is online multiplayer, so you can definitely play with your friends, and since it's free to play, there's no paywall. But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out, and yeah.
I think it was a lot of fun. I mean, I've been having a good time with it. Besides having the PvP, there's a devil form that you can morph into. That's like a superpower form that you get for just a few seconds, like 15 seconds, I believe. But there's like separate PvP for being in your ultra form and being in your regular form. I did not like the fact that I could do PvP right away, but I could only do PvP in the devil form, and it was everybody from like levels 1 to 10 of your Devilian form is what they call it. And so these people had gear. First time I went in there, I got rocked hard. I mean, I'm not sure if did you check out the Devilian PvP?
I didn't try that one. I only did the normal standard PvP, the capture points, if you will.
It's so it's the same map actually. But it's
is it? Okay.
Yeah, the Devilian form. It's the same problem though you run into at that level 30-ish PvP zone, because all the people that you're fighting against, it's an unlimited cap. There's not brackets. So if you check out everybody's level when you jumped in there, I thought I was doing okay. I was like, man, I guess I'm just too new to PvP. And then I looked over at the levels, and everybody else was 50 to 52, and I'm in there at 30. Gimping along.
Yeah, it makes a big difference too.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Devilian form one is the same thing. These guys, you can earn gear and stuff in PvP. You can level completely through PvP if you want to. But it's just the problem you run into is that gear cap. And it's apparent. It's a Korean game, I believe, right? I think
yes,
yeah. So, I mean, the gear grind culturally is a thing that Eastern games really enjoy. So it's very apparent in this game that the gear does make a big difference. So I mean, that's always something that kind of turns off Western culture, I think, is having that gear gate to be able to do stuff and not being like, okay, here's all the purple shinies if you want to go earn them, but if you have to compete, we're going to try to normalize it as much as we can for you.
Right. We definitely prefer the MOBA style of just hop right in and have everything accessible right away.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like looking at it now, I don't have the time to do what I used to do in arena seasons, where I just no life grind it for hours and hours on end. These days with 2 kids and a job, I don't have that much time to do that. I would much rather get into a PvP session where got some gear, but obviously there's going to be people ahead of me, and I have a little way to improve, but I don't want to spend days grinding out gear just to do PvP.
Right. Right.
Brutal.
And I don't even know what kind of pay model is this. Is it going to be like a pay to win? Is this just for aesthetics? I honestly didn't even look into it.
So I looked into possibly doing it. They've got a patron thing where you can pay and you get certain patron boosts, which is like, bonus experience, bonus souls you use to power up your devil form, which is you use this soul system to both buy yourself gear for your devil form and level yourself up. So you have to pay as you level, and it's weird. Yeah, you get bonus souls you can earn on that. You get like storage space, mobile inventory sales, and mobile like warehouse access, stuff like that. But then they've also got these packages that you can purchase that have tickets for buffs and stuff that do effectively the same thing, just a little bit better, as well as getting you access to things like the keys to open the chests. You get more like weapon recraft stones, because like you got to do, like most Eastern MMOs, you have to do a lot of the weapon improvement, like plussing your weapon a lot. So
just the slow typical upgrade.
Yep, a lot more access to stuff like that on the pay model. So I think at top tier in a month, when the game settles a little bit, we're gonna see people complaining a little bit more that they're like, oh man, this dude's a +8 because he's paid all this money into it and I can't afford it, so I'm stuck at +4 and he's super powered compared to me. Just typical differences because somebody wanted to sink money into it. But I tell you what, if I have that option these days, if I can pay a little bit more to be on a level playing field, I'm going to pay a bit more to be on a level playing field. Right. Back when I was 16,
this is from the creators of ArcAge, and I feel like ArcAge suffered from the same issue.
ArcAge suffered from a lot of issues. Let's be real here.
Well, the biggest issue was, of course, the exploits and the hacks and all that unfair advantage. But as far as the slowly buying yourself the in essence just buying time, what would have been more time spent.
Yeah, instead of time gating on something that actually was entertaining, it was time gating on stupid stuff like earning your farm and things like that. And the boosting day one for people getting farms was ridiculous. That was very painful in ArcAge.
Yeah, especially when you had no control over it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was very painful. We know that feeling all too well, which is why we shelved ArcAge fairly quickly.
Yeah, we didn't last long on that one. But
either way, 2016's looking good. Coming up here very soon on the new year. Can you believe it's the 20th
very soon,
already?
Yeah.
I'm recording this, and it's like 2 weeks until the new year. But we'll probably discuss this a lot more on a future episode. But we got some big titles coming out in 2016 that we've had our eye on. Obviously, the front runner is a little known game you may have heard of. It's this thing called Overwatch that some people have talked about a little bit. It's not like their nerds have their panties on a bunch about their Blizzard games makers over there touching himself thinking about it, you sick fuck. We've got our chat going, like in our side chat, and all it is Maker crying that Overwatch isn't back yet and posting videos of people playing Overwatch.
Yeah, a little bit of an addiction.
I kid, but I feel the same way. I've just got kids to distract me in the interim. Until then, once we get to that point, I'm going to give them all the love they want. And then Overwatch is going to launch, and I'm going to say, kids, you're not going to see Daddy for the next 6 months. Just go do something.
Well, outside of Overwatch, what are you looking forward to? Is there a big title that you have on your horizon?
So there's a couple ones that I'm looking at coming out. The Rainbow Six Siege that just launched was not super interesting, but I am incredibly interested in Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands or Badlands, I think it is. I think it's Wildlands. But that's the new single-player kind of open sandboxy Rainbow Six Ghost Recon kind of game where you're the elite operative group. But this one you get to kind of choose the way you're going to approach each mission. So there's missions that are active all over the globe, and you can act on them in whatever order you want. It's very sandboxy, and then the order you act on them kind of modifies what everybody else is doing. But you can take, stealth approach. You can take like a full-on assault approach. You can do different things that are going to have different outcomes when you complete your missions. So that's always fun because I like tactical shooters. But I think the big tactical shooter that we're praying that does not get just absolutely destroyed and fucked up by the developers is the Division, which will be coming out sometime next year.
Right. Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, we have high hopes for the Division. because it's one of those ones that just can be easily destroyed. It's a very delicate balance of this interactive PvP PvE environment with kind of the planet side feel of knowing where the enemy is and dropping in on that area. But this one's got PvE happening, so you're doing quests and stuff, and then you're hoping you run into the bad guys. And they're doing quests that are actively altering what's going on in your area. And I think the coolest thing about that one, too, is the tablet drop-in. It's got that party drop-in play that's just tablet.
Well, I thought they canceled that.
I didn't read anything on that, personally. I looked at the Division, I saw it at PAX, and then I was like, I hope this is going to do well, but I've got Gigantic and Overwatch on my plate.
I'm pretty sure they scratched that. That was because I remember at their initial unveiling that was a big facet of it, but I'm pretty sure recently they might have scrapped that idea because it just wasn't working out. But I may be wrong. I'll have to double check on that.
Yeah, we'll look into that. Do a quick Golder search. Actually, right here, E3 2015 Division cancels mobile, so the mobile companion app has been scrapped. That's sad. It looked very cool. It was a unique feature of the game that I think would have allowed for a little more connectivity. I think it would have come to a thing, though, where you had a mobile player, you would have wanted to kick him if a player that was physically at their computer or their PlayStation or Xbox or whatever was actually available, because it just didn't feel like they were as powerful. So I could see scrapping that from a gameplay perspective, not necessarily a technology perspective. Right.
It'd just be hard to balance. Like, it'd either be too good or too little for what it is.
I mean, what could they do? They could spot enemies, buff your friendlies, debuff enemies. There was a lot of power in that mobile person from what I saw in the videos. Now, this is just gleaning information that we are just totally theory crafting on, but from the looks of it, it was pretty powerful.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun just from what we saw, what little footage of it, and then they kept coming out with really awesome cinematics. I loved the videos that they were putting out of the cinematics.
Yeah, the Tom Clancy cinematics are always good. Trying to do a quick search here, and just wondering, do you remember when No Man's Sky is coming out?
Oh, no, I don't. I am curious, though, is the Division a multiplayer only, or is that supposed to have a campaign as well?
The campaign's built into the multiplayer from what I read. It's designed to be played online. Yeah, it's definitely the big portion of its interaction in PvP being potential there. But yeah, my third and big game that I'm looking at is definitely No Man's Sky. And that's on the horizon for June of 2016, actually.
Oh, nice. So yeah, there's a few good games coming out for 2016 then.
2016 is going to be a big year for games. I mean, besides the three I mentioned there, or four actually, there's just a slew on the horizon. Gigantic's supposed to be releasing sometime next year. Paladins is in development, which should be coming out. So the MOBA arena is getting heavy. The shooter arena is getting heavy with those Tom Clancy games and Overwatch. And No Man's Sky is coming out, which is... I mean, how much have you looked at No Man's Sky?
Not at all, really.
Really? Man.
I think Carol Kai showed me a little bit of footage, but not... I haven't looked into it extensively.
So this is one of the most ambitious projects that's out there right now. And it's amazing the things that this guy and this company is trying to do with it. But procedurally generated universe, kind of like if you think back to when Spore was first announced, where it had that kind of teeing out architecture. This has got that same type of thing, except for the procedurally generated universe is theoretically supposed to be as large as our galaxy. So the fucking Milky Way sized is what we're talking here.
Is this almost similar to Star Citizen with what they want to do then?
So not necessarily. This is more a adventure game, more a little survival-y, some adventuring and exploration, some combat and stuff like that, but not necessarily in that same vein of Star Citizen where it's, that's got the combat, it's got the FPS perspective and stuff like that. This is more designed towards the explorers and the adventurers.
Okay.
So with this one, there's a lot of just planet exploration and stuff like that. I'm not sure on terms of space combat and stuff like that, if there are bandit groups out there and stuff, but for the exploration side, what I'm excited for is hooking up my HOTAS, my joystick and my throttle, and getting out in space and exploring. But it's seamless leaping through space, coming into a system, scanning the planets, high speed maneuver up to the system and landing on a planet itself. You transition out of space right into the atmosphere and you can fly through the planet itself. So if it's got like canyon systems and mountains, you can seamlessly come out of the atmosphere into the planet's surface and just fly around on there. But then once you land, there's a full exploration component that if a creature's on a planet that's not been explored before, you can actually name that creature, claim it, gain experience for that. You can name the planet, you can name the system if it hasn't been explored. So when people come back later, they're going to see your mark on that.
No kidding. That does seem incredibly ambitious.
Yeah, it's very big, and coming from an indie studio, Hello Games, it's a little crazy of an undertaking for them.
Well, we'll see how that turns out. And you said this isn't due in 2016?
That's due June 2016.
No kidding. Wow. Well, we'll see how that pans out because, like you said, Spore, when it initially was unveiled, oh my gosh, that looked insanely good. Like super, super ambitious. And the final product was just a fraction of what they unveiled.
It was such a huge flop, too. Like, I'm not sure what happened from the initial Spore declaration of here's what it's all going to be with the evolution from creature creation up to RTS, up to global RTS, up to system-wide exploration, up to this interplanetary colonization and playing God, basically. But, like, somewhere along the line, Sid Meier did Spore, right? That was why it was so expected to be a big thing. Like, I
want to say so, but
I can't even remember who did it.
I can't remember.
Like, it failed so fucking hard, you can't even remember who did the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, all you know about Spore is now it's a creature creator.
Yep.
It was unveiled, and I remember watching that video, and you can go back on YouTube and look at it, and just every time he pulls back further, the crowd goes crazy.
Yup, a little gasp. Oh no, shit, it goes even further. Yeah.
And he gets out to the solar system level, and people are just like losing their minds. And seriously, I thought someone might have taken their top off and flashed him. That's why I was so excited. It sounded like a rock concert. But either way,
well, I would have been hype over it too. It was definitely an intense moment.
Exactly. But yeah, so tune into our next show. We're going to take a break for the holidays here. We're going to come back after Christmas there, do a New Year's episode where we're going to talk some Star Wars, talk about what we're looking forward to in 2016 in a little more depth. But that's it for now. We hope you guys have a fantastic holidays, whatever you celebrate with your families. So this is Killscreen, and I'm Ben.
And I'm Tim. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thanks for watching, everyone.